I am a member of the faithful remnant church of these end times. Now Jesus had spoken of his death, but they thought that he meant taking rest in sleep. Then Jesus told them plainly, Lazarus is dead, but let us go to him. Now when Jesus came, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb 4 days. Jesus said, Take away the stone. So they took away the stone, and Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I have said this on account of the people standing by, that they may believe that you sent me. When he had said this, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. The dead man came out, his hands and feet bound with bandages, and his face wrapped with a cloth. Jesus said to them, Unbind him and let him go. Many who had seen what he did believed in him, but some of them went to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done. So the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered the council and said, What are we to do? For this man performs many signs. If we let him go on thus, everyone will believe in him. So from that day on, they took counsel how to put him to death. The Blessed Virgin Mary spoke to the two witnesses of these end times, Petrus Romanus and Mary Romanus, and these messages are shared in the testimony of the two witnesses. On 6th March 2016, the Blessed Virgin Mary said, and I quote, Lazarus, come forth. These are the words that my son spoke, and they rolled away the entrance to the tomb. And out came a man wrapped in linen, and he was indeed resurrected, though he had been dead for days. Do you know why my son performed this miracle? He did this to foreshadow his resurrection from the dead, to foreshadow his coming forth out of the tomb. But even though he raised Lazarus from the dead, and there were many witnesses, they still chose to go against him in every way. Even though the people knew what miracle had been done by my son Jesus, they were excited for a time, but then they fell away. The Pharisees chose to be angered even more so, because they could not bring life. They became jealous of my son, because they knew that God was with him, in him, and working through him. They knew full well that it was not the devil. But they chose to remain ignorant and simply look for a way to kill my son Jesus. And so there really are only two paths to take in this life. Either people can rejoice at what my son is doing in, through, and with his two witnesses, our two witnesses, or they can become jealous and angry and filled with rage and choose to go against the written testimony. All of you know who you are, who have chosen to look at my son's testimony with skepticism and disbelief. You mock his word in your heart, and you only come to his website to be entertained. These warnings from heaven are for you, so that you do not perish and be eternally separated from my son. The testimonies of his faithful remnant are for you, so that you are fully informed at what you are choosing to reject and turn a blind eye to. You are choosing to be blind, my people, and so the wrath of the Most High True God rests upon you. Until you repent from your hearts, you cannot see. you will continue to spiral downwards in your interior lives the more you reject the graces that are here for you to benefit from. Because you are all sinners, and you are all unrighteous, and you are all ungodly. You all belong to your own religious beliefs, and it will be those beliefs that remain your millstone, and you will not escape eternal punishment unless you repent and receive the gift of life that is here in my Son's testimony. He came to call the sinners, not those who are righteous in their own eyes. You all see yourselves as righteous, saying that you believe in Jesus and that is enough, saying that you are saved by the grace of Jesus. But you all could not be further from the truth, because Jesus is not with you, but the devil is. And it is the same devil who incited the Pharisees and the Sadducees against my Son that is working in all of you now to go against his testimony and the truth that is right in front of you. You know deep down in your hearts that the devil is not working here. The truth is, the devil is working in you, all of you, and he is simply allowing you to embrace delusions so that you cannot have the tree of life. You are desolate, you have no souls, and you are miserable, and you are banned from the tree of life and under a curse until you repent and use the blessed holy water and be reborn in the truth. He is inviting all of you to become members of his faithful remnant church, but only some of you will respond to the invitation with a yes. The message ends here. You can visit www.testimonyofthetwowitnesses.com to learn more truths.